Hello everybody, welcome back to the Dark World. And been working with bees. I was working on the Diligent. First of all, let me show you what we got going on here. So I've got a number of different templates. This is fertility 4, fertility 2, got an extra fertility 4 over here. We got speed, fast, slowest, flowers, rocks, jungle, other rocks, lifespan short, flowering slowest. These are humidity and temperature tolerances, effect poison. These are the species. So I've got managed to get tropical, rocky, cultivated, common, and diligent so far. So, and you just feed like some drones in here and you get a random shot. Use up a genetic labsware each time. Takes a diamond to make 16 of these. And you can run through diamonds pretty quick with this. Just tell you that right now. You can combine various things onto one of these templates once you get these characteristics, and I've used some of them to build up a little template here. And we've got 7 out of the 13. We're missing the species, which we don't really want on here. What we do with this is we basically turn an ordinary bee into like a super bee, because ignore day night, so it can work during the day or the night. So we give it that ability. We program it to use flowers instead of rocks or cactus or whatever else we might have, since we're our little garden here basically has flowers around, so that's why we use the flowers. And having the flower, having flowers for the flowers, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but it'll cause more of these flowers to spawn around as the bees work, so we can get different kinds of flowers. So that's nice. Cave dwelling, which means it doesn't have to have direct line of sight to the sky. We got glass there, but that doesn't count. Effect none. We've got this effect poison. That came from our tropical bee, which I've removed that trait from the tree, from these, so these guys won't poison me when I'm around the hive like they used to. But I went and grabbed that trait before I modified them. I'd like to get all the different effects if I can. So lifespan shortest, so they'll die off as quickly as possible so that we can produce more drones, which is always useful. Fertility 4, which is good for producing lots of drones, of course. Tolerant flyer means it will operate when it's raining. When it's raining, a lot of times the bees won't work unless they have this trait as true. So the only thing we're really missing at this point, I think, is the humidity tolerance and the temperature tolerance. And the rest of these are not so important yet. So I'd like to get those two. But yeah, basically put a bee in here and it'll overwrite these ones, these 7 traits, with whatever you have on it. So I had these ones, yeah. So if we look at this, I mean, it has fertility 2, lifespan's short, flowers, mostly all, the rest of it's all the same. This, no for nocturnal, tolerant flyer, or cave dwelling. I ran this drone through it, and we ended up with 4 times fertility, shortest lifespan, and yes on all of these. So that's basically what it does. I ran the princess through, which was a ignoble princess, and this is what I got as a result. So I lost the princess. So we need to produce a new princess, I guess, to replace the one we had. So because we don't have that many diligence yet. I didn't think this was gonna do anything with it. I didn't think I was gonna lose a princess in a process like that, but apparently you can lose ignoble princesses. So I went and grabbed a mystical. Mystical doesn't have any mutation possibility with the diligent, so this will be a good one to convert over. I've made noble, and these are getting pretty full. I think these are about all full now. Doing unusuals there, we're doing mysticals here. We got lots of bees going on. So doing some Rockies. It's cultivated. Here's a free one. So let's throw the mixed mystical in there. Diligent. And this is our good diligent. Keep that over here. These are the normal ones we haven't modified yet. So we're going to try to get this princess to a diligent state. Fortunately, they need daytime. They won't work during the night, so go ahead and sleep. But before I can proceed, I basically need to replace that diligent princess. And with that, I can make more diligent drones. Well, this one, I'm sure to make it a pristine, I believe, this time. Where was it? Here? Yeah, pristine. So this one's not going to get killed. Once it's a purebred diligent, I'm going to modify it to match this one, and then I'm going to breed these and get a bunch of diligent drones, and then we can proceed to the next step. So I'll cut here, and I'll be back when we have all that. Okay. Got my diligent princess. This one was pristine, so this one should survive the process. Find out, I guess. This thing has absolutely no use whatsoever. I wonder... well, I can check it in a sec. Alright. So, pollination speed's a little bit different, but otherwise everything's matches up, so most likely the slowest is gonna become dominant as we do these. So we'll take these out, we're not gonna use these anymore. And we'll use these two. These are chocolate frames. What these do, they help shorten the lifespan of the queen and also boost their production a little bit. So usually you want to use these if you want to like kill these off faster, so you don't have to wait around as long. But also putting the shortest life trait on there is helpful as well, of course. So now that that's going, we're missing two traits, as I said over here. The temperature tolerance and humidity tolerance. So I'd like to fill those in, because then we can pretty much raise anything we want to in a normal environment that we have. So we type drone here, we can see all the different species of drones, and there's quite a few. And another thing you can do is hold shift down and mouse over these, and you can see various traits of them. And what I've discovered was the magenta here, magenta drone, has temperature tolerance of both 3, so we can go up or down in temperature 3 steps, which is good. To need that, we're going to need a blue and a pink. Now the pink has humidity tolerance of both 3, so you can go wetter or drier by 3 steps. There's only 3 different classifications, so really you only want to go up or down 2 the most, because if it expects wet, for example, then you can go down 1 to dry, or down 1 to normal, and then down another 1 to dry, so that's step 2, and now you're at the other extreme. And same going from dry up to wet, that'd be 2 steps. So 3 steps doesn't really mean anything. I don't know why you need 3, but we need it to get to this magenta anyway, so we'll grab both of those. So we're going to need the pink and the blue. So how do we make these, right? and blue is nothing special. Another thing to note is that these have the fastest worker, which is another trait that would be nice to have, so we can grab that as well. So to make a blue drone, forest and diligent. So we got diligent, we got forest, so that shouldn't be a problem. We'll breed those and get blue. To make the pink, we're going to need a white and a red. White is a wintry, we have one of those, and a diligent. We'll produce a white. To make the red, we need a common and a diligent. To make the pink, and then the pink and the blue will make the magenta. So, here's the 3 princesses we need, plus the diligence that all 3 of them require. So we'll go ahead and put this in here. Okay, we got 2 choices, frigid or white. So we're going to work on white for now. We'll maybe do the diligent, or the frigid some other time. But for now, we want this. And for this one, we're going to want the, not growing, but blue. Hopefully it doesn't kill them. Okay. There's a 10% chance we'll lose the princes in this if they're ignoble. But I haven't worried about too much. Alright, so we got lucky. We got all the ones we needed. These are queens, so we can't actually do anything with them until we get the princess back. To get the princess, we have to let them run out their life. I don't think any of these have tolerances, so I've just been doing the bloodies here until I can get this up to a full stack. And I've been keeping my stacks of drones in this chest. Once I get complete stacks, you notice these question marks and stuff over on the right here. These shows what, so we got meadow, and this shows what else we've mated them with. So that was a common here, probably sort of white ones. Blue one down here will be this forest, and the question marks represent breeding mutations that we haven't found the combination for yet. So if you're wondering what those are, and we also get some statistics here. We've bred about 18 of the 279 different species that are there, so we've been through quite a bit of drones and princesses and queens, it looks like. Interesting stats, but not particularly useful, really. White colored comb. So the white bee produces these combs, which we can get a white colored honey drop from. And these basically act as dye, it looks like. Can dye various things. Yep. Oh, this is probably like for honey, yeah. White painter, so just a dye. So that's what these different colors, these will produce red dyes and blue dyes, I guess. Probably not really all that useful. We've got so many flowers that we can produce all these different colors from anyway. So there's lots of different options for dyes. With plain old vanilla Minecraft, I guess you're a little bit more limited, but I don't know how many different dyes you really need anyway. I don't know. I don't use dyes all that often. So here we're trying to create common princess, and it's being a little bit stubborn, not happening. These are whipping right along. I've already got 5. This is the one we just bred. So working nicely. This is going to take a while. We might want to grab these frames and use them here instead. I don't know why my frame rate's so low. Does that have something to do with the bees? I don't know. Alright. We could maybe use a few more apiaries. I don't know if I got any. Yeah. We just need some, probably gonna need a bit more wood too, so I'll grab another stack of wood. Create some slabs. That should last us a while. Looks like we got 2 impregnated casings, so we can make 2 more of these apiaries once it stops lagging. Alright, 2 more apiaries. Here, I guess, and here. So we can get our princesses back quickly. Once we get the princesses back, we can, well, I may want to breed these for a little while. We get some drones going, so maybe I'll just cut, because I'm going to have to run these for a while to get the drones built up. So I'll cut, and I'll be back when things are a little less boring. So I thought I'd show you the flowers that are being produced by the bees down here. You can see we got quite a few varieties of flowers around, and these just naturally appear as the bees work. And this is our wall of cocoa farm. Just lets us make the cocoa for the chocolate frames, basically. The only reason I set this up. It'd be kind of nice to automate this, but I don't really have the systems in place to do that yet. But yeah, I just wanted to show you this stuff grows pretty quick. So I'll go ahead and cut. So I thought I'd show you guys how to get these genes. I think I showed this maybe once, I don't know. So I'm running through some knolls. The only thing of interest on this really is the species itself. And there's 13 different chromosomes, of course, so tolerance none, not very useful. And so basically you just got to go through putting one in at a time to see when you get that gene that you want. In this case the species, and as soon as we get the species, give one true. Can't really use that, but it might be kind of nice. Keep around. Once you actually get the trait you're looking for, then you don't have to run any more of these, because you're running through genetic labware each time, so territory average, not useful. So this is kind of a long, slow, boring process of doing this. But yeah, it's gotta do what you gotta do to get what you need, right? So yeah, you roughly go through this about 13 times on average to get the trait that you're looking for. Although it seems longer sometimes. See, still don't have it. This is what, 6 of them now? So we're maybe halfway there. Oh boy. Oh, these two are the same. Lovely. Flowering slow. See, I still don't have it. These are extra, by the way. I've got my full stack already, so right there. And you can see there's only what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different question marks. There's only 6 different ways you can breed this, mutate it into something else. So not too many. So you can look at that and see approximately how useful it is. Do we get it? Nope. Still, so yeah, this is boring. And we're gonna have to go find more diamonds soon, I think, because we're kind of starting to run low on those, which sucks. Okay. dwelling again. So yeah, this is exciting. And then when I want to clear these out, I just bring them over to here. And we just throw them. These are slower, average. Yeah, these are all. Just throw them in there. Cook up pretty quick. And there you go. Bring those back. Stick them back in and reuse them. So. This last one, if we got it or not. That's the wrong machine. Oh, I span shortest. Nope. Alright, I'll cut because this is getting boring, so. Okay, so. We've got this noble princess and a cultivated meadows hybrid drone. A noble plus the cultivated will produce the next thing we want in line, which is the majestic, and that's what I'm going to try for now. What we want to see is, can we use a hybrid? Yep, pristine, so we shouldn't lose it. So this will give us the majestic that we need to continue on that line. And this is what a lot of the bee stuff's all about, is all these different species. There's just so many of them, and you gotta work your way toward getting the one that you're looking for. Diamond one's probably going to be nice. We're probably going to want to make one of these at some point. We need the Imperial, which is the Noble and the Majestic. We'll produce the Imperial, so this is why we're proceeding toward the Imperial. And then Lapis is a resilient in the water. We've got water drones, those are you find out in the wild. We need the Imperial and the Robust. The Robust is the Rocky Tolerant. The Tolerant is a Rocky and a Diligent. So it's going through a lot of different species to get to the species that you're looking for. There's a lot of what this bee breeding's all about, but it's worth it when you get there. If we look at the bee, we can get this diamond comb, only 1% chance, but we can do some tricks. We can put like this is the slowest worker. We can modify this to be, you know, a fastest worker, and put some different frames in the hive. Once we get into alveary as well, we can improve it even more. We can get pretty good output out of this when we're all said and done. And what these will give us is a diamond fragment, which combine 9 of those to make a diamond. So it's kind of slow, and but you can produce multiple apiaries or alvearies, and you can automate it, and it's just producing diamonds in the background for you. It's like a little diamond factory, so kind of nice. And that's, you know, you get diamonds. You can do that with sapphires, stuff. These aren't going to be as useful. Lapis. Valuable. Is this what this was? What's valuable? If we look at it, platinum cone, or a shiny metal, basically. So we get these platinum grains, which combine 4 of them to make shiny metal. So the bees can do a lot of interesting things for you, a lot of rare materials, but there's a lot of work getting up to that point. But once you do, it's worthwhile. So a lot of times you have to ask yourself, you know, do I need a lot of some resource and I'm having trouble finding it? Is it going to be worth it to go through all this monkey business with all these bees to get to the point that I need to be at to get it? You know, and it all depends how much time you want to spend at doing this stuff. So yeah. Alright, so anyway, we got our majestic. Still waiting on some of these other things. Let's put the majestic in there. We have our red, we need to be done again. blue's going kind of slow. I think the white I put back in this corner. Kind of hard keeping these things straight. Yeah, there's the white. Not daytime. I should probably imprint these guys, shouldn't I? Yeah. Anyway, I'll cut when we got more progress. So another species we want is the tolerant. And this is gonna produce, we're gonna get into a lot of the metals going down this route. So, good to have. Alright, I'll cut. Okay, I have got 52 white drones. I think it's enough for now. I'd like to breed these. I'm probably gonna get a stack later. The reds are slow. It's ignoble. This is pristine. I went and used the imprinter over there, and you can see it makes a big difference. I mean, he's only got 4 drones, 52, so you get a lot more. The blue is also ignoble. Got 8 of those, so these are taking a while. I'd like to build some more of these drones before I try and imprint these, just in case I lose the princess. So it's going slow. It's a trade-off whether you do it or not. You're gonna need some more labware. Grab one from here from now, and that'll give us our pink queen. And we need more mutatron. Anyway, we'll have our pink. I'll cut and we'll get something more interesting going on again. Okay, here's our queen, queen, pink queen. This is the first generation, so we need to let this generation die off and take the queen and one of the drones and run them through the imprinter. And we should have quite a bit of these, and this one's pristine, so no need to worry about her dying. So now we just need to get the blue. Actually, we'll just use a drone. Run one generation. Use a blue drone, and we'll use this pink princess. It should build up the drones pretty fast, so once I get a decent number of drones, we'll do that. So I'll cut and we'll come back for that. And here we are running through the genetic imprinter, important step, so that we produce a lot more drones. Okay, I'm going to cut again. Alright, we just finished up the tolerant. Got 64 drones for that. And next we want to combine this with a Rocky to get a robust. So this pair, I've set up this with extra drones. Here's our good drones. These are extras that we can use for breeding. Princess's extras I've stored in here basically. So wrong one. Those will produce the robust. Alright, I'll cut when I got more. Oh, we need genetic labware. I'm starting to get kind of low on that. Gotta go find more diamonds somewhere. Alright, I'll cut. I'll be back. And here we have our humidity tolerance, both 3. Finally. Didn't take too many tries to get it, so that's good. And we have about a stack. Yep. And we can take this and mix it with the blue now. So let's go ahead and do that. Sorry, got a slight recording issue. We got our magenta though, so you didn't actually get to see me mix them in there, but same thing. So Stick it in here. We want to do one shot, so I've set this to insert mode instead of export. So when these dies off, they'll stay over here. I went and automated this over here, so I don't really have any non-automated apiaries at this point. So I've decided to do a different naming system as well. An apiary that you have, where they run one generation and they'll die off, I'm going to call those one-shot apiaries, and these would be the automated apiaries. So, and they serve different functions. So the automated ones you want to use to build up drones, and you also want to use them to convert a princess to a different type, according to whatever the drone is. The one-shot is where you try to breed two different species, or where you just want to get the princess back and you don't want to keep doing generations. So, yeah, you can just go in here and you can change this. Just push this. Alright, so normally it's in extract, you get this, go to insert. Now it won't extract, because this is inserting, nothing's extracting, right? Nothing down there, no connection. So that sets it to one-shot mode, and then if you want to go back to automated, you just go back one. You could just do this, but yeah, click 3 times to get it back. This you can just go back and forth, one click, a little more efficient in my opinion. So I'm gonna go work on building up some purple or magenta drones, and then we're gonna extract both 3 temperature tolerance from them, and we'll put both of those onto our template. And I'll probably just come back once I've done that, because it's going to be a boring wait probably until then. So I'm going to cut now. So I got some extra drones. I built this deconstructing table here to try and get some aspects back. We got one there. These things don't have a lot on there. It's got 1 feather, 2 of the motion, and they rarely seem to produce much of anything. I mean, we've got 8 in here. We're probably not going to get anything out of these. We got kind of lucky with that last one. So, but what else do you do with the excess drones, It's like I wasn't really paying too much attention. I got this full stack of cultivated drones. I made a cultivated princess. And then I made a whole bunch of extra, so I got another whole stack, and I didn't realize I had a whole stack already. So, what do you do with them? Well, you just recycle them, I guess. I don't know that we need a lot of, well, I might take a couple. Generally, you want to look at how many question marks you got left, and that'll kind of guide you on what you're doing. Like the pink here, we see we only got 1 possibility there, right? And if we go to pink, check the uses to see how it breeds. So a blue and a pink will produce a magenta. That's the only thing that can mutate, is with the blue. And we've made our magenta now. We don't really need pink dye for anything, I don't think. So there's not a whole lot of reason to keep running the pink species and keep producing, product from them. So we're sort of retiring this line. I mean, we'll keep the branch around just in case, but we're probably not going to need it anymore. We've used it as a stepping stone to get to the magenta, and we've gotten both 3 from this, which is really what we wanted. So there's no point in keeping the princess around anymore. If we need another princess, we can use the drones to produce one. We just convert a princess over to a pink princess by breeding it with the drones. So it's not really an issue. So we don't need any more princesses around because there's nothing else we can breed with it. If we still have a lot of possibilities though, like, here, we still got a bunch there, a bunch here. Oh, the bloody doesn't have any. Here there's still quite a few. And you might want to use like your princess that you have and breed it with some drone from another species to fill in some of these question marks. And so it's kind of nice to have some of the princesses around, which is why I'm keeping them in this chest up here. So So we got a cultivated one, which we'll use with something probably. Sinister, we still got that one to do. We can use a tropical or a modest to do that. Restricted to nether-like environments. But when you use the mutatron, or the advanced mutatron, this particular requirement here is kind of moot. You don't need to worry about that because... But if you're going to breed it normally in an alveary, then you need to worry about these conditions. Diligent we already have. Eldritch, well, we didn't quite do the Eldritch yet, did we? But that uses like an unusual... You can find these in a wild, so we might as well just use the drone for that. We'll have plenty of these princesses around. Tarnished, cultivated, so this would be a good example. Once we get a tarnished, we'll probably just use the drone from that, use the cultivated princess to make it galvanized. So that's one example where you might want to have the cultivated princess around, because you're going to need a princess from one side or the other, and whichever side's the harder to get is probably the one you want to use a drone for, and the one that's easier to get a princess from is the one you only use the princess from. If that made sense. Hopefully it did. So these are extras we don't need. The blues I think are having a little bit of an issue. Yeah, I lost the blue. I tried imprinting it. Where did I put it here? Yeah, it's like another genetic waste. I'm starting to believe that if you have an ignoble princess and you try to imprint it, you're going to lose it 100% of the time. So don't stick ignobles in here, because I can't be sure if I've imprinted one. It seems like I know that I've lost 2 of them now, so I think this might destroy them every time. So never stick. You always want to stick pristines in here when you're trying to imprint. So, but I lost it. I had and we're out of. I think it's actually a pure blue, but it's got some trait that's like wiggling around. Yeah, slow and slower. So it's not quite stabilizing on one. Slower, slower. So this one's slower, slow. And what is our queen right now? Slow, slow. Which was... I don't think we had one. This one was slower, slower. Yeah. So, I don't know. Sooner or later it's going to stabilize to one or the other. But it's not doing it yet. So it's hard to get a bunch of these... Well, what have we got here? Slow, slow. That's what we want. Alright. So let's try and stabilize it to slow. So this one's... Yeah, I'm not sure what we'll get. Hopefully that'll stabilize. And these I'm not going to stack, so what we're going to do is try to get rid of these so they're not taking up too much space. Because you get a lot of these ones that won't stack and you start running out of space pretty quick. Cultivated. Yeah, we're going to save some, aren't we? In case we need to. Alright. So, I don't even remember what I was talking about now. We've got some blues. The pink. So we already used the, yeah, so we're... Now we can imprint these. This is pristine, which is what we want. One of those and one of those. So, yeah, I'll cut when we have more magenta drones, and I'll come back. Alright, as I said before, I kind of want to try to get all the different effects, if possible, from all the different bees that have effects. Most of them don't have an effect, and so it'll say effect none. And there's a lot of undesirable effects that you don't really want on their poison. so here is effect none. You see that? It's about the fourth line down in the traits. And what effect none does is it gets rid of whatever effect there might be. So the tropical had poison effect, and we imprinted over that and made the effect none. So now it doesn't have an effect. And that's useful because you don't want to get like poisoned or blown up. There's one that has like a creeper effect that'll blow you up if you get too close to the hive, and just a lot of stuff. There's a wither effect on them that you can get, and it's just, yeah, bad news. So most of the time you just kind of want to get rid of those bad effects. But if I'm trying to get that effect, then I need to run a bunch of drones through here. So we need to be able to get a lot of drones. And the way you do that is by, having fertility 4, and by having the lifespan shortest, which would be nice. Plus, if it can work, during the night, and if it's raining and so forth. So I'm going to build up a second template here. This has most of the stuff here, but we're not going to add the effect none. We're just going to leave the effect alone. So we could use this template if we want to on something that has an effect that we want to keep. But we can do things like the lifespan shortest, fertility 4. So that's the goal, and here's how you do this. You just take the traits that you want, you can stick them all on here. It's going to add 4 of them now, from 1 to 4. And then you just keep going. There's a 5th one now. So we got a bunch of these, and we can fill these out more, but these have the most of the ones I want. I'd still like to get the ignore day-night, but I don't have an extra one of those at the moment. So we're going to do the magenta, right? We're going to create a bunch of drones, then we're going to try to get the characteristics off there, and we're probably going to pull things like the day-night true aspect in the process of trying to get both the fastest productivity as well as the both 3 temperature tolerance. So I'm not too worried about the fact that we don't have them yet, because we're probably going to get it pretty soon once we start doing this. But so that's that. Just want to show you that, and I'll cut now. So we'll go ahead and mix our unusual princess and a cultivated drone, and we'll get started on the, oh, that's ignoble, isn't it? Maybe we don't want to do that yet. Yeah, changed my mind. How about mystical and cultivated? That'll do it. And we have a mystical that's pure. So that's what we'll do. So we'll start down the Eldritch line. I don't know where that's going to lead exactly, but I'm sure something interesting will be down there. Yeah, so I'm going to cut again. I'll be back. So, we've got a few more species you'd like to make. A noble and a majestic. We'll produce the imperial. And this is an important bee. This will produce royal jelly, necessary for making alvearies, which we're going to get into. There we go. And a diligent, cultivated will give us an unweary, and unweary plus diligent will give us industrious, and then the industrious produces the pollen cluster, which is necessary for the alvearies as well. So we'll get to that one next, and then we'll have what we need to start getting into alvearies. And a cultivated and tropical can produce the sinister. And this is going to be used as a stepping stone to get to other things later. So we'll make that for now. And I think we have enough of these magenta drones now. We can try to pull some of the things off of it. Let's take a look. Come on, here we go. So what we got here, so we want to grab the fastest. And both of these, temperature tolerance and humidity tolerance. I went and used this one, stuck it on here, and then I re-imprinted these, so these actually have both of them now. That way I can try and get a second humidity tolerance, so I can stick it on this template as well. So that was the idea. So we got 8 genetic slabs, so we can do about 8 of these. Try 3 at a time. And see if we can get something useful here. That one's useless. Already got it. It's not useless, but we already have it, so we don't really need it. Fertility 4, we don't really need that. We've got flowering slow. Definitely not very useful. Cave dwelling true. So this is the joy of random number generators in games. Really annoying. I don't know why they rely on it so much. Flowers, flowers. Flowering slow. So you can see the 3 traits that we're looking for still haven't hit it. Flowering slow, still haven't hit it, so. And then we used up all our genetic labware. Will we get at least one of them? Lifespan shortest. No, we won't. So, I don't know how many attempts this is going to take. I'll have to go make some more labware. Once we get those traits, we'll create a whole, finish creating a stack of these, and then we'll be done with the magenta line. We can retire that. We can put the template, last template that we're missing, into the other one, and we should be able to do things like the Sinister here, Sinister Queen. We'll probably, I think there's an effect on this one. Aggressive, so this is gonna like attack you, so we're not gonna want to be too near the hives, so I'm probably gonna have to set up an apiary somewhere else to gather a bunch of drones, try to get that effect. Once I get that effect, then I can modify these to get rid of the effect and continue breeding them to get a full stack of Sinisters. The Nuiri doesn't have an effect, but the Imperial does. Beatific. And I forget exactly what that does. I guess we could find out by throwing her in one of these hives. There's one we can put it in. Oh, not daytime. Alright, well, gotta go sleep. Yeah, I'll cut here. So we finally got the temperature tolerance, both 3, and the speed fastest. Took about half a stack of these drones to get there, but we made it. And they're in here, so we'll get those fixed up. Imperial, we probably want to update these now with the new information. I actually put it on this one that doesn't have an effect, so we'll keep the effect of these. I'm not sure. Lifespan normal, so it's going to be kind of slow. And only 2, so yeah, we definitely, but we don't want to lose the beatific from that, so we're going to need more labware. No labware anywhere. I'm gonna go make some more now. And how many diamonds are we down to now? 9. Make that 8. 8 diamonds left. And we had nearly a stack. Kind of close. And now we don't really have much of anything. So yeah, I can really use up diamonds. Make sure you got plenty of diamonds before you embark on this particular endeavor of genetic manipulation and breeding. Actually, the breeding takes labware. Getting the traits, genes over here, and then imprinting them also does. So there's a lot of ignore day night. Have an extra one of those. Cave dwelling. So probably don't need these. Species I already grabbed from over here. So, and there's our pair of super bees. There's this one, yeah. So this one we don't want anymore because it's just not super anymore. Alright, so what does the beatific effect do? Regeneration. It's short-lived, it's not very long, but this provides you the regeneration effect, which is kind of nice. This is what we were looking for. I thought that was Edenic, but the Edenic breed, these bees have the Explorer effect, and the Explorer effect actually gives you experience slowly over time, just standing near the hive. So that's definitely one we're going to want to do. So these are our goals. We want to get to the Edenic line species. There's also the Yellowrite bee. I'd like to make those. And, you know, we're going to have glittering, nuclear, from corroded, imperial. Corroded comes from resilient, forest. Resilient is robust and imperial. We got robust, and I think we have imperial now. Oop. Sorry, I wanted to do the recipe. So that was glittering. The nuclear is unstable and rusty. Stable's rocky and austere. Modest and frugal. Frugal comes from sinister. There you go. And modest. So sinister, I knew was one that we were going to need. So it's Yellowrites. It's not. I'm not going to have those real soon. So there's the diamond ones. If we look at the outputs, we got a 1% chance of getting this comb, which gives us 1 diamond fragment, and we need 9 of those. There's also this diamandi. If we look at this, it has a 6% chance of giving us a diamond shard, and we need 9 of those to make a diamond. So it's 6% versus the 1% chance that we get from this. So I think we're going to be better off with the Diamandi line from this is from Extra Bees, the other one's from Magic Bees, the Diamandi. So 2 different ways to get it from 2 different mods basically, and we'll go with that one. And there's also the Esmeralda, which, not surprisingly, gives us emerald shards. So diamond and emeralds we can make from the bees as well. And the final one for now would be the Gelid bee. And what this produces is Cryothium dust. And we're going to want more cryothium later when we build our big reactor. We're going to use this to fill it, to keep it cool. So we're going to need plenty of that stuff. So we might as well get bees, because this stuff's not really that easy to make. Because you need this blizz powder. We could use like redstone and snowballs, but I'd rather not burn through so much redstone to get to it. So we'll just do some bees for that. So those are our goals. And yeah. Look at the majestic going on over here. All these 4 are empty right now. Nothing there. Got our unweary going there. Red, we're still struggling to get. This one's not been modified because it's ignoble. And it's just taking forever. But that's alright, because we're not even using all of these hives right now anyway. So we got the Eldritch. And these have been modified. This can be switched back to extract mode. And there you go. Majestic. Where's the unweary? Did I miss it? Imperial. I thought we made... Yeah, here it is. Alright, so we got a few bees going. We've already mastered these pretty much. Need some more white. Still, I guess. We could do that maybe. But I think that's going to do it for this episode. We accomplished quite a bit. And... yeah, not sure exactly. We might do some more bees next time. We might move on to some other things for a while. Don't know. We'll see. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. If you liked the video, please leave a like. Take care, everybody. Bye.